and this is true or false. If false, give the correct information. So if the answer is true, you will just write true, but if it is false, you will write false and then you will write the correct information. That means you need to write the correct answer. So let's read out the first one. Our foods are rich because they have a lot of oil in them. So is it true or false? It is false. If we look at the passage, we will get to know why this is false. If you read the first sentence, it says Bangladeshi cuisine is rich and varied with the use of many spices. So there is no oil mentioned in the passage, so we can tell that it is false, and the correct information is our foods are rich because they have a lot of spices. So number 1 will be false. Number 2, we get protein mostly from fish. So let's look at the passage again. So it says, if we go to the second paragraph, we can see that fish is the main source of protein. And the question says, we get protein mostly from fish. So both sentences have the same meaning. So number 2 will be true. Yes, we get protein from the fish. Number 3. On Pohela Boishakh, the traditional food is steamed rice and fried hilsha. Is it true? If you look at the sentence carefully, this looks almost true, right? But you need to read the full question very carefully. On Pohela Boishakh, the traditional food is steamed rice and fried hilsha. But can it be true? If we read out this line, Panta Ilish is a traditional platter of Panta Bhat. It is steamed rice soaked in water and served with a fried hilsha slice. So, what is the difference between this sentence and this sentence? It says the traditional food is steamed rice and fried hilsha, but in the passage it says steamed rice soaked in water. So soaked in water is missing in that question, so we cannot say that the statement is true. Number 3 will be false. On Pohela Boishakh, the traditional food is steamed rice soaked in water with fried hilsha. So even if it looks true, this is false because we eat steamed rice soaked in water. We do not just eat steamed rice on Pohela Boishakh, it is soaked in water and we have it with fried hilsha. So number 3 will be false. Then comes number 4. Pithal Chop takes place almost all the year round in Bangladesh. So it says Pithal Chop takes place almost all the year. That means this chop takes place all over the year. But if we look at the passage, it says during winter Pitha Utsav, meaning Pitha festival, is organized by different groups of people. So the answer is already here. Pitha Utsav does not take place all the year round. It only takes place during winter. So we can tell that the statement is false. Number 4 will be false, and the correct answer will be during winter, Pitha Utsav takes place in Bangladesh. So number 4 will be false. Lastly, number 5, sweets are not much appreciated by the people of Bangladesh. So this statement says Bangladeshi people do not like sweets. But is it true? If we read out the last part of the passage, we can see that sweets are therefore an important part of the day-to-day life of Bangladeshi people. So we can definitely tell that the statement is false, and the answer will be sweets are very much appreciated. So you need to write the answer. You need to write the answer from the passage. So the question says sweets are not much appreciated by the people of Bangladesh, but when you are writing the correct information, you need the answer needs to match with the statement. So you will write sweets are very much appreciated. You will just omit not and write very. So it will be sweets are very much appreciated by the people of Bangladesh. Now we will go to our next activity, and that is read the text in B again and answer the following questions. That means it says to read the passage again and then answer the following questions. So if you read the passage again, you will find out the answers quickly and write them down properly. So let's read out the question. Number 1. What has made Bangladeshi food so special? So there is something that has made Bangladeshi food so special, right? Now let's go to the passage again. So if we read out the first sentence, it says Bangladeshi cuisine is rich and varied with the use of many spices. So we can tell that many spices have made Bangladeshi food so special. So it says Bangladeshi cuisine is rich with the use of many spices. So the answer will be many spices have Bangladeshi food so special. Alright. Number 2. Where do we get the fishes from? So the answer is very easy if we read the passage carefully. So let's read out few lines. Fish is the main source of protein. Fishes are now cultivated in ponds. Also, we have freshwater fishes in the lakes and rivers. So will you just write ponds, like we get fishes from ponds? No, we can also get them on lakes and rivers, right? So make sure that you include these 3 places: ponds, lakes, and rivers. So the answer should be like this. We get fishes from ponds, lakes, and rivers. See? So do not just write ponds. Make sure that you include the other 2 places that are lakes and rivers. So the answer is this. We get fishes from ponds, lakes and rivers. Now comes number 3. Apart from fish, what other foods do we eat with rice? So there are many other things that we eat with rice, and it is written in the passage. So first look at the passage and find out the answer. So if we keep reading the passage, we can see that apart from fish, we also eat a lot of other things with rice. So what are those? Those are vegetables, meat, lentil soup, green chilies, onion, etc. with rice. So try to write 3 to 4 things that we eat with rice. And etc. means there are many other things that we eat with rice. Okay, so make sure that you write at least 2 to 3 things in your answer. Then lastly, why are sweets an important part of our life? So you can write this answer in 2 ways. First, you can write like this. Sweets are distributed among close relatives when there is good news like births, weddings, promotions, etc. So they are important part of our life. In another way, you can write like this. Sweets are an important part of our life because sweets are distributed among close relatives when there is good news like births, weddings, promotions, etc. So you can write the answer in either way. So the question is in the last part of the passage. So if you look at it, not the last sentence, it is in the last sentence of the second paragraph. Sweets are distributed among close relatives when there is good news like births, weddings, promotions, etc. So we can tell that sweets are an important part of our life. All right. Now, lastly, there is an activity where you need to choose the correct answer to each question. Now, let's read out the first one. The word appetizing refers to costly, tasty, gaudy, and pretty. Now, as I said earlier, appetizing means tasty, delicious. So here costly means expensive. That means something that that requires a lot of money. And tasty means delicious. Gaudy means something that is tasteless, and pretty we know what this means. So here we will choose this option number letter B, tasty. Appetizing means tasty. Number 2, which one is not freshwater fish? So there are 4 options: crab, rui, prawn and hilsa. Now there was a line in the passage. Let me show you so that you can find out the answer easily. Okay, so see, also we have freshwater fishes in the lakes and rivers. So what are those? More than 40 types of fishes are common, and some of them are carp, rui, katla, magur, chingri. So these are freshwater fishes. And shutki and hilsha are not included in freshwater fishes. So we will see if any of these um, fish is in the option or not. Yes, there is hilsha in D, and the question is which one is not freshwater fish. So we have crab, we have rui, we have prawn, and lastly we have hilsha. So the answer will be hilsha. It is not a freshwater fish. Then comes number 3. Boiled rice is eaten with pita, fish, sweets, and snacks. So we can easily tell this by not looking at the passage, because we do not eat pita with rice, we do not have sweets with rice either, and snacks is something that we can eat all alone. So fish is left. So boiled rice is eaten with fish. The answer will be B, fish. Then comes 4. Which of the following is catfish? So this one is again an easy question. There are 4 options. A, magur, B, katla, C, shrimp, D, hilsha. Now we will find out which one is catfish. So if you look at the passage, you can see that some of them are carp, rui, katla, magur, and in this bracket you can see catfish. So we call magur catfish. So the catfish is magur. So magur should be in the options, and we can find magur in A. So number 4 will be A, magur. Magur is catfish. Lastly, sweets of Bangladesh are mostly dash based. So we make sweets with something. So we need to choose an option. There are 4 options: water, syrup, milk, and candy. So you need to answer correctly. So it is clearly mentioned in the passage that sweets of Bangladesh are mostly milk based. That means we use milk mostly when it comes to make sweets. So we use milk everywhere while making sweets. So the answer will be milk. And the answer will be C, milk. So here is the answer key. Number 1 will be B, that is tasty. The word appetizing refers to tasty. Number 2, which one is not freshwater fish? Number D, hilsha. Number 3, boiled rice is eaten with. Number 3 will be B, fish. Number 4, which of the following is catfish? The answer is A, magur. And lastly, sweets of Bangladesh are mostly dash based. The answer will be C, that is milk. Sweets of Bangladesh are mostly milk based. Lastly, we can see some new words to learn. So these are the words that are in the passage already. One is delicious and another one is distribute. So delicious means tasty. Synonym means both have the same meaning. So delicious means tasty. But what is the opposite of delicious? Tasteless. That means something that has no taste, something that is not tasty. So we can tell that the opposite of delicious is tasteless. Then comes distribute. So we can tell that divide can be a synonym of distribute. For example, um, if your mother has cooked 2 pieces of chicken and she gives one chicken to you and another one to your little sister, that means your mother is distributing the chickens. That means your mother is dividing the chickens. All right. So distribute means divide. You are dividing. You are giving and dividing things to others. Now, the opposite of distribute will be collect. That means you take something from people or from a person and it will be collect. You are taking something from someone. And when you say divide, that means you are giving something to someone. Alright? So, the lesson ends here.